Ooh. I might be nip ripping that all night. You might see me running around with my clothes off, getting naked because I nip rip too much. Hey little babies, hey little freaking whiskey babies. Today we're drinking Law's Whiskey. Law's Whiskey is a Colorado distillery. They sent me this 4-pack, 1 4-grain bourbon, and then a single malt, a rye whiskey, and a wheat whiskey. Those 3 are all trying to profile that grain and show you the terroir of each of those grains, and then they're in their 4-grain bourbon. Law's Whiskey is the first Colorado distillery to bottle bonded whiskey. They don't have a master distiller, they have something they call the Village, but the president is a guy named Al Laws, which I think there's an opportunity there, maybe a missed opportunity to be named Outlaws. All right, skipping that one, delete that joke. The sample that we have here showcases each individual grain that is gonna be in their 4-grain bourbon, except the corn. So for instance, this first one is a Henry Road straight malt whiskey. It's aged at least 2 years, which is the age across the board here. And then the alcohol is 47.5%. Wow, chocolate. I get a lot of chocolate. I'm gonna do a nip rip, and then I'm also gonna taste it from Glencairn. Wow, that is cocoa. Cacao specifically. Not sweetened. That is this Henry Road straight single malt. They have a motto of there are no shortcuts, which I love. They've distilled every drop of Law's Whiskey, which I think is cool. It's not very sweet, super chocolate notes. All right, so the next one up is the San Luis Valley straight rye whiskey. Aged at least 2 years, and in my experience, rye whiskeys can be younger and still taste fantastic. Sweet grassy notes. Nip rip. I love that. I love that so far. Let's hit it in the Glencairn. I love their rye whiskey. That's, out of the 2 I've had so far, that is truly fantastic. Ah, God. Minty, herbal, their rye whiskey. I could drink that all day. That's delicious. That gets the thumbs up for me, this one. All right, next up is the wheat whiskey. Nip rip. Sniffing off this nip right here. I don't get a ton, but I have a bad sniffer, so we'll do it in the Glencairn after this nip rip. I'm getting some of that wheat, that sweet wheat. It's nice. Yeah, it smells like a nice wheat field. Not in a farmy way though, just like, you know what, I'll say this. I recently put my finger in the fermenters at a place and got to taste it, and it was before it started fermenting. So it wasn't bubbling and stuff like that, and it wasn't very hot, and it was just kind of this like sweet soup. It was their mash, and these guys use a sour mash for what it's worth. And it was like syrup. It was delicious. It was like I'd put it on my pancakes. I wanted to dip again, but I don't know what the rules are there. Yeah, their wheat whiskey's delicious as well. What, we're sitting at 94.5 proof? I'm bad at math. 95 proof or so? Yeah, so it's a little light. Not everything has to be punching you in the face with proof. But I feel like even at that proof, you could, or if you hit 100 proof, somewhere in that range, you could still get a lot of flavor. And I feel like I taste it, but yeah, it does, I wouldn't water it down. All right, so last we have this 4-grain straight bourbon, which I'm excited because now I've kind of tasted all the grains that go into this. Yep, smells nice. Yep. It's still very, corn forward, I would say. I'd love to see this continue down the path a little bit further down the road. Who am I? Who the fuck am I? Keep cooking in that little oven. It's nice though. I can see where it's going. I really like it, especially at this age, and especially the amount of corn I'm tasting. I think that it's really gonna go places. It's really, I'm curious to try their other products. They have a bunch, so like a cask strength bourbon, just to get that full flavor profile, to really understand, not to be like badass and shit, although it's pretty cool. No, I mean, damn, that's pretty good though. It's got this great sweetness. I'll tell you why this bourbon is good. These two right here. The rye that they use is really cool, so it's only made for Laws. So the San Luis Valley, that rye is just for them. So, and this rye is like outstanding. Ooh. I might be nip ripping that all night. You might see me running around with my clothes off, getting naked because I nip rip too much. All right, that's Laws whiskey. Thanks again, guys. I thought that was really fun to try all the grains and try them all in one whiskey all together. We'll see you on the next experiment. This is the Bourbon Library. I'm Alec Bayless. Get out of here. Hope you guys, hope you don't mind I'm wearing shorts today.